Welcome to the Walkons. I'm Trent Donald.
I'm John Watson.
I'm Zach Yearwood.
And I'm Nathan Dean.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it's been a minute since you've been on Birds of Play.
Yeah, the
like
good
that.
old days. The good old
The
days,
good old
man.
days. The good old days. What do we got, Drew, for today?
So we got a full tap of menu for our walk-on schedule today. Nice hearty entree to the meaty course and dessert, then some coffee. See what happens. So the entree today is that MLB is working on a deal for the season. So my dog Jet Passon from ESPN, I know him pretty well these days. They have an agreement based on service time, so that according to this article, that even in a lost season, they'll still be granted full service time. So Mookie Betts with the Dodgers, he can still be full time with the Dodgers, even though they're not playing. So I guess, guys, with this deal, do you kind of think that that's good for service time with the players, or it's a bad thing?
So, when you're talking about a lot of collective bargaining in almost every sport, the owners and GMs usually tend to have the leverage here. What this deal does is it seems to give the players a lot of leverage, which is fairly new for sports. Like you said, Mookie Betts gets his full year, so that does mean if he wants to, he can walk from the Dodgers without playing a single game in their uniform, which is massive and completely unheard of in the realm of sports.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting that you can have a year with the team and not even play a game.
I think it's kind of a unique thing, but it's also something that we're dealing with right now. I mean, with the coronavirus, you're seeing all kinds of things changing. So with baseball, to talk about players that played for a team but may have never put a uniform on or stepped up to the plate or took the mound at all, I think you could still refer to them that they played for that team. But I think looking ahead a little bit, I don't think any of us would refer to Mookie Betts as a Dodger if he never wore that uniform, because we would remember this coronavirus situation. So I think it does impact that a little bit.
Yeah, if he play, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so back to me. So back to baseball. If the season does start like July 4th, are you guys in favor of like a playoffs pushed back to November, or what? You think that's a safe move, or what do you guys think?
I think they're going to play it by ear no matter what happens. Whenever they decide it's safe to go back out and it's safe to bring people into the stadiums and have games, they might work in an 81 game season instead. They might work like 130 something. They might even just make it like a 60 something game season. Just depends on when in the year it happens. Uh, it's completely reasonable. You want the World Series. I think they're still going to aim for the World Series to be in October, no matter what.
That would, if they wanted to play the 162 games, they'd have to play a lot of doubleheaders, and I don't think any player wants to do that really. So I just maybe if they had like a 80, 83 game season like the NBA, that'd be pretty solid for me.
I think baseball could use this as an opportunity to test a shorter season rather than canceling the entire season. If we have to do that, then so be it, for everybody's safety. But if they have a chance to test a year where, yeah, they do have an 81 game season, I think that they could use that to advantage. The statistics would be a little bit messed up. There would be asterisks against everybody's stats for this season, but you would always look at this year as an opportunity to test out, okay, maybe let's see what the viewership is if they cut the season in half and still have playoff baseball in October, because they will continue to battle with the NFL and the start of the NBA, as so many sports happen at that time. So I think a season that's cut in half might work out for them if they're able to do that.
One interesting thing the coronavirus might bring to the realm of sports is the NBA. For me, they're talking about pushing everything back, including the finals being in August or September, and that means the new season would start in January of 21, which a lot of people want in the first place. They want the season pushed back, and I think this would be the perfect opportunity for the NBA specifically to do that.
All right.
As a national story of to lead it off, but John's got a story now about the NCAA. About that story, John.
The NCAA announced that they are going to give an extra season of eligibility to all of the spring players who had their seasons cut short. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? What do you guys think about, some seniors maybe not coming back for that extra season because they want to graduate?
I mean, it's only fair. They no one wants their season to end early like it has, their careers to end early for a lot of these players. So if you bring them back, you give them the option to come back. Some of them are going to take it, and others are going to graduate and think that they want to go on with their lives. They're going to want a 9-to-5 job coming out of college, which a lot of them are going to have. So it's the right decision for the NCAA. It's a good look for them, and it's the right thing to do overall.
Yeah, I did a story on this with about baseball team, and Eddie Miller is a big reliever for the baseball team, and basically he's a senior and accounting major, and they beat the Buckeyes, Ohio State, the last game of the season. But basically, his last game, his parents weren't even there. So playing your last game in the field with the parents not even there, it's sad to see. And I told him he wants to be an accountant, so he didn't say yes and didn't say no. But all these guys' stories are so weird because like they deserve to have another season, but they're also on a path to different career. Like Rob Leverone is a runner for UNF. He's probably not going to play next year. He's going to be working. So I like the option, I guess, but it depends on the player's career path.
Yeah, it's different for everybody. So I think it's something that you just have to look at for each individual and kind of a go about of what they think is best for their career, if they would like to continue it at a collegiate level or move on to the work life or see what happens after graduation. One thing that I was kind of disappointed was to kind of see what they were going to do with some of the college basketball players. Unfortunately, we did not get that March Madness tournament. We didn't get some of the conference tournaments that we could see for some of these teams. So it's unfortunate that we weren't able to do this all across the board, because there will always be that asterisk for college basketball as well. As Florida State won the ACC, but they didn't really have that tournament. So this is a very strange situation that the NCAA decided to just go with the spring sports, but I'm disappointed to see some of the winter sports not get that opportunity as well.
All right.
Zach, you have a story too about Esports and WWE. What's that about?
So sports almost everywhere have been canceled, but there are a few that are still going on. Mainly the biggest one being the WWE. This weekend is WrestleMania weekend. Get excited. They're not going to be doing it in front of a live studio audience, unfortunately, but it's all the excitement's still going to be there. They're doing something a little different with this one. It's going to be 2 days, Saturday night and Sunday night. But we've got a great card ahead of us. We've got Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre as the main event. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. Edge versus Randy Orton. If you watch the Royal Rumble, you know that Edge threw Randy Orton out of the ring, and Orton was kind of mad after that. I think Orton wants his revenge here. Got other great matches: John Cena versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. So I'm excited for this WrestleMania. Honestly, there's a lot of – I haven't been watching wrestling over the last few years, but there are a lot of names that I know, a lot of old names. The Undertaker's facing AJ Styles in a Boneyard match. So yeah, this is the first WrestleMania I've been excited for in a while. Besides last year when they had that triple threat in the main event.
What was the year that the Hardy Boys came back? Was that last year?
That was 2017.
Whew. Okay, because that's what I was thinking. Because I remember growing up when I was a huge WWE fan. The Hardy Boys were obviously one of my favorite tag teams, and I also liked Rated RKO. So the fact that Edge came back, I immediately jumped right back into watching WWE again. Just thinking back to the old days when he was with Vicky Guerrero and The Undertaker and that rivalry. Because my two favorite wrestlers of all time were Jeff Hardy and The Edge. So just to see those two wrestle again is still a dream, but I'll take Edge versus Randy Orton. I'm excited for that one.
I don't know if you knew this, Nathan Dean, but the Hardy Boys are back, but they're in the AEW.
Right, they're in AEW now. Yeah, so I saw when Matt Hardy had his big reveal that he was joining the AEW. There was no crowd, so it was just good old Jim Ross just going, "Oh my gosh!" and there's just nobody there.
I want to put up on wrestling, and big news actually, Roman Reigns actually pulled out of his match on Sunday. He was supposed to face Goldberg this past weekend, but he decided not to for the coronavirus, I guess, which is kind of a weird move because it's like a big marquee match, but you're also looking out for yourself. But I guess just disappointing, but would be a good match either way, though. You're a tiny little center with like not as much ambiance or feel, so it might be kind of watered down this year, but it'd probably be a solid show nonetheless.
I like that they're doing it over 2 days. That way they can keep me invested for both days. It's probably better for their ratings overall too. Nobody wants to sit there for 4 or 5 hours watch WrestleMania. So it just gives you a whole weekend to. I guess you can't really get together with your friends right now, but
Maybe on Zoom.
Yeah, watch it through
on
Zoom.
Yeah,
Zoom
there
party.
you go. But wasn't it originally going to be at Raymond James?
It was.
Yep.
And now it's not. It's going to be in Orlando, I believe, right?
At
Yep.
the Performance Center. Yeah, it was where they
Yeah.
all train.
Yeah, so they would have had maybe 30,000 at Raymond James. Maybe they'll have maybe 0 now. So very interesting.
It was
atmosphere.
disappointing to see them lose that event because the fact that they were getting the Super Bowl this upcoming football season, WrestleMania, and I believe they're supposed to be getting, is it a college football playoff or a national championship? Are they doing one of those there? Because
It
I
might
think
be one of the playoff games.
yeah,
Maybe.
because I know they have. I mean, obviously the Super Bowl the year following this year is in Miami, so there's a lot of big sporting events in Florida, and this coronavirus is kind of taking a pause and all that. So
What
we'll
match
see
are you
if
boys
yeah.
most excited for? Sorry, John.
No, you're fine. I don't track WWE, so I don't know.
it's like rated RKO, man. Like it was so perfect for the WWE to have Edge come back, and then he teased just for a little bit a return of rated RKO, and then Randy Orton just completely just ruined everything, and now we have some conflict, seeing some 2 old friends now rivals. We've seen that, plot many times in the WWE, but I definitely did not expect that. So, because I saw the clip on Twitter that Edge came back, and I immediately tuned in to Monday Night Raw to see what they would do with it, and they knew exactly what was going to happen. So the fact that they hooked everybody, and now they've got the 2 former friends, per se, going at it, that's exciting.
I'll give you 2 hidden gems, guys. 2 hidden gems. One for the story, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. When Seth turned heel, it was an amazing, amazing, amazing job for him. And KO is his big face now with this bunch of so-called stunners. So it'll be a good match altogether, but also matches Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Basically for the NXT title, first time ever for an NXT championship in WrestleMania. Very physical match. Look forward to that too.
For me, it's got to be I hate to say it, Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. I just want to see Lesnar lose. I'm so sick of seeing him win. He took the title from my man Kofi Kingston. I'm here to watch Drew McIntyre win it back.
Kofi Mania.
All right, moving on. This might not interest you guys as much. You might not have much to say about this, but there are a few esports events coming up. Playoffs for League of Legends happening. It's one of those games for nerds like me. Kind of hard to understand if you don't know what you're watching.
I was so bad at League.
North American playoffs start Saturday. The European playoffs start on Friday. You guys have anything to say about that?
I tried League, couldn't win like my first 10 games. I had fun, but it just wasn't my thing. So when I watch people play it, I'm just amazed at not only how good they are, but just how awful I am at that game. So best of luck to everybody. Esports, that's a big topic now because everybody having to do the social distancing thing. This is a huge advantage for esports because people are going to be desperate for some kind of competitive content when it comes to sports. So you might see a lot more higher ratings for esports.
And then, sorry, John. I keep cutting you
John's
off.
like, I want to talk about League.
You're fine. No, the Twitch community is growing right now because so many people are online, and League of Legends. I've never played it, but I can see why people play. 'Cause it's pretty addicting, and games like that, Overwatch, and Rocket League all have their little championships. So it's really interesting to see.
That's one of those games I'm really bad at.
Which one?
Rocket League.
I'll flex a little bit. On Rocket League.
We'll see about that.
I'm just saying.
You don't want this. You don't want the smoke.
I'm one of the best goalies in the game. Tons of clean sheets. Tons of them.
Tons of clean sheets.
You gotta have a Rocket League turn 2-on-2 Rocket League. Let's go right now.
2-on-2 Rocket League.
So the other big thing in esports right now is with the NBA. They're doing that 16-player 1v1 tournament that features names like Kevin Durant, Trey Young, Donovan Mitchell. I believe Hassan Whiteside and Devin Booker are also in it. And they're going to be doing it over the course of the next week or two. And I'm excited to watch that. I think Trey Young and Donovan Mitchell are going to pull out some – they're going to surprise some people.
Well, the young guys always, they play a little more 2K than the older guys. So we'll see.
I think that's a great idea because now you're going to get to kind of get the commentary as they're playing, so see who they are more as a person. So hearing that trash talk, and you've seen the clips before, you just never know who's going to end up saying something that you would never expect them to say. I think it was a couple of years ago, Ben Simmons and Karl Anthony Towns were playing PUBG, and I think Karl Anthony Towns said something negative about the entire Atlanta Hawks franchise, and that quote blew up. So you just never know what they're going to say.
You never know.
I'm going to be watching that live. That's going to be fun. I know who Drew's got to win that.
Yes. It's a man with a hairline that's very receding from Oklahoma, Mr. Trey Young. The ice tray who's too cold. He has no chill, but some chill.
I was playing as the Hawks earlier yesterday in one of my Zoom classes because playing it on the side, doing Zoom here. And Ice Tray was going off, man. He went off for like 30, had like 11 assists, like 1 rebound. But he looks good in 2K, but I'll see how those skills translate to the gaming controller.
Don't let your
I so badly wanted to see Luka Doncic kind of get involved too, because everybody, when you talk about Trey Young, it's almost like you think of Luka just because of that trade that happened on draft night, where it worked out perfectly for both teams. So I would love to see them go 1v1 in some 2K, but we'll see how that goes.
All right. What do we got next?
So lastly, we have a fun segment of our show.
Woo.
It's called the Sports Movie Debate. Now, this is going to be very heated, but we're going to be civilized, you guys. Civilized like men. So we're going to go by age first. So Nathan, you get first dibs.
Oh, man. So I'm assuming we're going youngest to oldest then.
Yeah. Yeah,
definitely. Okay. So I'm just picking my favorite one?
Yeah, best one you think of all time.
Oh, well, it's no doubt, the best sports movie of all time has to be Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans is the movie that made me look up to Denzel Washington as an actor overall, because he just did such a great job. And seeing that team, just the interactions with the players, and talking about things that were controversial to talk about in a movie like race, and seeing how they were able to put that together for an awesome sports movie. Everybody remembers the Titans, and that's the whole point of the movie. So,
That's
I've never seen it. Sorry.
Come on.
My bad.
Iconic.
What you got?
You've got plenty of time to watch it now.
You think so?
Zach, how old are you?
I'm 21.
I'm 22. Okay, I'm next. Sorry.
I'm 22?
Wait, where? Oh, crap.
When's your birthday?
September 12th.
Okay, I'm August 19th.
Wow. Less than a month. But we segue into movies. I go with Invincible. I think it's a very kind of low-key movie. It's a Mr. Mark Wahlberg, bartender from Philadelphia, true story. Tried out for the Eagles when they sucked. Got a roster spot. It's a good uplifting movie, and just it's fun to watch. It's very repeatable. It's very, very, very good, but I don't know if it's the best. Yeah.
I've only ever seen clips of that movie. Where Mark Wahlberg running down the field. I don't watch too many movies these days, man. I don't have too much time.
Oh, jeez.
We're in quarantine. You got plenty of time right now.
He's too busy serving people. He's too busy serving his passengers pretzels.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah. Flight attendant.
Flight attendant John, what's up? All right, what's up, Zach? What do you got for movies?
So for me, it's a two-way tie. It's either Friday Night Lights. I love the Ballad of Booby Miles, and watching that team from Odessa try to pull out that state championship when no one expected it from them, and that heartbreaking, gut-wrenching ending where he's just a half-inch short of the goal line. Spoiler alert.
Whoa! I haven't seen
the movie. Well, where do I go from here? No, they win the game, John. Nothing. It's a great ending.
Spoilers.
But anyway, all the characters are developed really well. They all have some kind of story around them, and it's based on a true story, so it's really well done. The other movie for me is Coach Carter. Samuel L. Jackson does a great job as a high school basketball coach. The dynamic between him and his son on the basketball team is outstanding. The one kid who keeps quitting and then comes back like 2 or 3 times and then ends up making a big difference in the big game. Great movies all around.
Lastly, because I'm the youngest here, 19 years of age, I'm gonna have to go with
19-year-old flight attendant.
Yeah, it's astonishing these days. Wow,
you're going far, kid.
I'm really going far. But I'm gonna go with Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Okay.
It's just like I was watching it yesterday. Don't know why. It was on TV, and
nobody knows why they watch that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So many great lines, from the dad and from Will Ferrell. So it's just great.
8 pounds.
I have to say, go ahead.
That's an 8 pound, 6 ounce baby Jesus.
Yep. I have to say, I'm kind of surprised nobody picked Sandlot on this one.
You're right.
I haven't seen it.
Classic film. Oh! All right. That's fine. Great movie. Great. Sandlot 1 and Sandlot 2, both of them are very good films in my opinion. Totally different angles of the story behind it, but also what happens to each of the kids that play on the Sandlot. Highly recommend if you're looking for a sports movie.
Don't spoil this one.
They play on a Sandlot. That's all I'll say.
Wow.
Amazing.
It's like I've seen it.
Maybe.
This was the Walkons, though, with Drew McDonald.
Me.
John Watson.
You know who I am.
TV.
News director TV.
Zach Earwood.
And Nathan Dean. Thanks for having me on, guys.
So thanks, Nathan. Thanks, guys. We'll be sure to talk to you guys next week about This Week in Sports.
Safe travels.
Peace.
Been fun.